Hey, Tom. Yeah, yeah, I was having a little me and computers and connectivity here, but yes, I think I'm I think I'm in. All right. Talk to you in the meeting.
Mr. Chair, I see you online there. Are you planning to run the meeting from online?
That's my intention. Yes.
Okay, well, I made the announcement about the audio being on, so whenever you are ready.
All right. Thank you, Blair, and everyone there. I'd like to call the Transportation Committee for Tuesday, February 21st to order and ask for ask for the clerk to call a roll for some roll call, please.
Berman.
Here.
Iqbal.
Iqbal present.
Caius.
Caius present.
Leonard.
Leonard here.
Roth.
Roth here.
Ford. Doherty.
Already here.
Davis.
Davis here.
Tepe.
Tepe here.
Huron. You have quorum?
Thank you. All right, and next up, a motion to approve the minutes of January 17th. Motion in a second.
Caius move.
Second.
Second.
Mr. Caius moves, and I think I heard Dale for a second.
Yes, sir.
All right. Clerk, please call the roll for
Berman.
Berman, yes.
Iqbal.
Yes.
Caius.
Caius, yes.
Leonard.
Leonard, yes.
Roth.
Roth, yes.
Doherty.
Yes.
Davis.
Davis, yes. Minutes are approved. Thank you very much. And anyone in the room or online for public comment? Seeing and hearing none, we'll go on to finance and the finance report. Do we have somebody from? Go ahead.
The finance report is in your packet. If you have any questions, let me know.
All right. Well, seeing and hearing no questions there, we'll move on then. Blair, you've given me a different screen, so it's gonna be a little tough to read the agenda since I'm trying to do this from online.
Uh-oh. Maintenance report. That's the development committee.
Yes, right now on my screen, I have Glenview State Bank and Kadam Trucking. There we go. Thank you. Moving to 5, maintenance, the maintenance report.
This is Bill, and ditto on the maintenance report. If you got any questions on that, I'd be happy to answer that.
All right. Blair, back to the agenda page, please.
Doing them up, folks.
Recording in progress.
There you go. Thank you. All right. Next up is our Adopt a Highway program and applicants. We have a resolution for that. Let me ask for a motion in a second, and then we'll have Tom give us some little detail on who we've got.
Leonard moves.
Thank you,
Iqbal
Bill.
seconds.
Thank you, Mo, Leonard, and Iqbal. Tom, you have or Carl?
This is Bill. I have that, and we
Yeah,
have
Bill. All right.
3 new applicants, and glad to see some more applicants on the program and 1 renewal.
Okay, excellent. Anybody, any questions on the Adopt a Highway? All right, clerk, please call the roll.
Berman.
Berman, yes.
Iqbal.
Yes.
Caius.
Caius, yes.
Leonard.
Leonard, yes.
Roth.
Roth, yes.
Ford.
Ford, yes.
Doherty.
Yes.
Davis.
Davis, yes.
Passes.
All right, next up, Blair, agenda page, please. I would have printed one out if I. All right, planning and programming. Assume that somebody's going to tell us we have a report in our packet and, move on to the first
Jackie.
resolution, but go ahead and tell me.
This is Jackie. I'll proceed with the planning and programming report. Let me pull it up here for you.
All right. Okay.
You can't see, but I moved to a different place here, so give me a moment to get us started.
Could you make the print smaller?
Yeah, there you go.
Guy back there.
Just like Jerry Jones is back in office. right?
Yeah. He wasn't afraid either, was he?
All right. You can go back to the planning and programming report. Please. One more. There you go. Okay. The first item I wanted to call to your attention is the Safe Streets and Roads for All grant. This is through the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act that we've been talking about. I want to let you know that we were part of a team that was successful in acquiring some funding. We partnered with CMAP as well as other counties in the region to request funds, and we received $3.9 million to do a study, a planning study, and create a Kane County Safety Action Plan. Having a safety action plan in place is required to apply for the same funding source to do capital improvements. So we were just notified that we received the funding, so we're going through the process of signing agreements. CMAP will handle all of the administrative work. They will hire a consultant to work with us to create this plan. And then once we have the plan in place, we'll apply for funding to implement some of the things we find in the plan. We had considered doing a safety action plan on our own for Kane County. It did require very specific details to be included in the plan in order to be qualified as a plan that you can apply for that other funding for. So we're really excited that we received this funding. We had brought a resolution through a few months ago so that we could sign this right away and get started on it. So we are executing that agreement right now and are excited to share that with you this morning. So bravo to us. Moving on to the Ride and Cane program, we actually now have 36 registered riders, so we continue to increase the number of riders in the program, and we're working closely with the Veterans Assistance Commission to bring on some riders to that program as well. So we're excited about that. In your packet is the impact fee program report, as you usually have, and that's all I have regarding this. Does anyone have any questions?
Jackie, I want to echo the bravo part because the Safe Street program, like you say, is opens the gate or is a stepping stone to, grants that would help with capital efforts. So nice work.
Definitely.
Mr. Chairman, this is Caius.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, Chris.
Just for Jackie, on our impact fees, I know we're just in the very beginning, I think it's through January 31st there on the table. That print's pretty small too. When I zoom in here, it looks like we're about 154,000 to this point, which is about a quarter of what we had, I know, through the first part of last year. How are the impact fees holding up? I know we had 4 million the year before. Was that 21 and 22 had 4 million? Do you expect that to hold, improve? Because we're on when did that formula change, and then how is it keeping up, I guess?
Yeah, the official change was last January. So we've done almost an entire year. We made a little tweak to it, but not in the impact fees
Right.
themselves. So that has remained the same. I would anticipate it would be similar to that. I think Kathy has been projecting it to be about the same as well. So we'll make any updates if we see. I know that we had a little bit of a slower month, talking to Lisa Larson, the program manager for impact fees, but we anticipate that it will continue to grow.
It is
Who
really
knows?
not too fair. It's only 1 month, but still I want to.
Yeah, and we continue to try and find any development that maybe was missed and they didn't pay their impact fees up front, but we're going after them through the violation process. So we'll continue to do that and catch them. Good question.
And there's going to be something a little later on that, resolution of impact fee, right? A waiver.
Yeah, for some credits.
Correct. We do have one coming up. Yep. Good to keep an eye on it, though. Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
All right. In fact, our next resolution, approving the 5-year, with the TIP program. Mr. Caius, would you like to start us off by moving that one, and then we'll
I'll move that. Sure.
Great.
Let's plan
All right.
ahead. What the heck?
and a second, please.
Ford.
Ford, thank you, Ron. All right.
I'll take
Who wants
this
to
one
tell us?
again.
Thank you, Jackie.
Sure. Last month, we brought you the first part of our 5-year transportation improvement program. We brought you the forecast and a list of projects. So now we have the entire tip for your consideration today. We do include in there our transportation budget, that forecast, project lists, some maps, and other charts and graphs to kind of show you how we're doing for the next 5 years and what we anticipate our projects were going to be. So those things are in there. You'll see this static map on the screen now, and I'm really excited to demonstrate something new that we have added, is a interactive map. So I'll get to that in a moment. And there's one other document I wanted to show you that's in the exhibits. If you can go one more. So our project list is in here again, with a few little tweaks since last month. You keep going through it. We wanted to show you the bottom line, more or less, of where we're at with our 5-year projection of funding. So I know it's a little bit hard to see, but in the lower right-hand corner, those are fiscal year 26, 27, and then our 28 MYP. Those are the projects that don't technically fit into our 5-year program, but we like to show you those anyway, so that you understand that we have other needs beyond our 5 years. But you'll see that there is negative numbers there, and that shows that we have a greater need for projects than we have funding right now. So what happens is we'll have to push projects out into those further years so that we remain fiscally constrained in this program right now. Kathy, I don't know if you want to add a little bit to that.
I'll just add that, beyond just the net negative 180 million, one piece of the puzzle that you also need to consider is that we have 19 different funds. It's a mix of special revenue and capital projects funds. And there are restrictions on some of those funds. So not every one of these projects can we use each of those fund categories. So it's kind of a Rubik's Cube sometimes in moving some of our projects around.
For those of you that have, been on the board for a little bit longer, you've seen this before. It's a relatively fluid process. I don't think it's unusual that we have things that are on our list that are not funded yet. And it's also possible that within, the time frame of the 5 years represented here, something else could come up that's not on the list at all right now. So we do the best we can to project and to show that there's, a plan, and it can change and, evolve. But this is where we are right now, and always more work than there is money, it seems. All right, any other questions on this resolution?
Mr. Chairman, or?
Yes,
were you gonna say
Caius?
something?
No, I was just going to do a quick demonstration of the,
Well, the interactive.
if that's okay.
Oh, right.
I'll
yes.
save my questions till the end. Maybe you'll answer them all.
Yeah, hopefully. Okay, so I'm going to take away Blair's power here for a moment. So if you bear with me, if I can show my screen.
You're in charge, Jackie.
Yes, now I'm in charge. It's scary. But we're really excited to show you this. Casey Crawley, who is our transportation planner, has some incredible GIS skills. So our transportation improvement program team tasked her with putting together this interactive map. We did take inspiration from a map that the RTA uses for their community programming plans that they do, and also from Lake County DOT. So we had some inspiration from them. So to start, you'll see on your screen, this is the opening screen when you click on your new GIS link. It gives you just an overview. We have this year created some new category names for our projects. These definitions are going to be tweaked a little bit. For right now, we're going with preservation, modernization, multimodal active transportation, and expansion as the different types of projects now. So different than years before, and we have a definition. This isn't live yet because we haven't approved the tip, but once we do, you'll be able to click here to actually see the printed version of it. So clear that screen, you see okay. And you click on there, and now you see a map of Kane County. We have our county board districts outlined down there, as well as our municipalities. So to start, you can choose an area. So I'm gonna just pick right here. You can click and see whose district it is. And then you'll see some dots here with some projects. You can use your mouse to scroll in. And you can click on each project to see what it is. You'll see the name of it. So this one is an intersection realignment with Hops Road. You'll see the local cost, how much federal and other funding we have toward it, and then the total project cost within the tip years that we have in there. We went out to 2028 because we wanted to include those years on this map for you, so that you again understand that there's some projects here that may not have funding until the out years. Up here on the right, there's a little arrow that you can click on and you can get some more information. In this case, it tells you what district it's in. So we have different projects. To clear that, you hit the X button. And if you're wondering, well, what do all these little dots mean? You can come over here and there is a legend and it will tell you what each of these things are. So is it a preservation segment, points? You can scroll down and see other things. Then we have the municipalities on there. So that's your legend. So you understand what you're looking at here. So here's a purple one. This is a modernization, Randall Road at Weld Road, US 20. So this is some leftover money from a project we did years ago. So to clear that, you click on the legend button. If you missed that splash screen in the beginning and said, what the heck is a preservation project? You can click on here and it will give you those definitions again. And the last thing I wanted to show you is that you can change your base map if you wanted to. So if you didn't like this, you can click on here and choose a different map to show up and behind it. One of the things I haven't seen yet is satellites. So we'll get that on here. Some people like to take a look and see what's actually from the air down, what's around a project. So you can change your gallery. And then also you can turn on and off layers. So let's say you wanted to see a certain type of project. Let's say only the modernization intersections. You can turn off the other layers. And then you'll only see those projects show up on the map. And then you can scroll in and just see, okay, what is this modernization? Randall at Huntley Road. Whose district is that in? It's in District 21. So we're really excited to show you this map. We will be tweaking it throughout the year, making changes to the financial information as we have it. If we decide we have to add a different project or move some years, we'll do that. One thing that we don't have on here now when you click on a project is the year of construction. And I'm thinking that's something that would be interesting for you to know, because if you have a resident ask you, when is this going to be done? You could come to this map, click on it, and one of these boxes will say construction and give you an estimate of what year that's going to happen. Of course, there are engineering phases that happen before construction. So a lot of these are underway already, but usually residents want to know, when is that construction going to start? When am I going to see some action on this? So this is the interactive map that we have for you. We'll take any comments or questions that you have on it, where we can make little tweaks as well if you have some feedback on it. So
I do.
thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, go ahead.
so this is all new, right?
All new.
I
this
I
year.
thought maybe I got lost in the agenda here because this is very exciting stuff. This
Yeah.
is for clarity that anybody can get in. I think, Jackie, this is absolutely fantastic. You've done a great job on this. I'm, of course, particularly excited to see that North Randall Road is being addressed in significant projects.
It's-
Yes.
Just saying. But also the green in here is very exciting. And is that project on the North Randall to address the accessibility for bicycle, multimodal transportation up in northern Canaan.
Mhm.
That's of course, the map's on page, the static is 76. I think the other
Mhm.
question I had was on the pie chart on 88, I think it is. Yeah, the
Right.
pie chart. It seems that the expansion is 61% of the project cost, the budgeted project cost. That sounds like just a whole lot of new roads. Is that not so many new roads, but it's just that's the part of the budget that is so expensive to do? I could see where preservation and modernization might not be as expensive per project. Is that
Yeah.
what we're seeing there?
Yeah, give me a second. I'll pull that up. I don't think we had it in our exhibits, but I should be able to pull it up here for you.
There's a couple of larger projects that in the expansion category that you're familiar with. Long Meadow Parkway,
I thought we were done with that. That was
also down
last
in
year,
the-
wasn't it?
down in the southwest corner of the county, there's Granite to Doberman extension. So that's another big one. But, moving forward, that's not going to be the trend. The trend will be more towards the preservation type project.
Preservation and making that little green slice there way big, right?
Right.
Yeah, multimodal.
Yeah. Thank you, Carl.
You're getting
This is the chart
your
here.
bicycle tuned up for the nicer weather, Chris?
Actually, I'm I'm finally, I think it's great we're getting more bicycle stuff, and I'm just getting too old to ride a bicycle now. It's so much crap. I wish that
E-bikes,
we were-
don't
I'm
forget
glad we're
about
doing this
e-bikes.
for our generations that are coming, frankly.
All right, well,
Tricycle, Chris, tricycle.
there you go.
Well, they're-
Three-wheeler.
E-bikes are very attractive. I like them.
Mhm.
And,
Yep.
and now there's this new interactive map for you to play with too. So
Yeah,
there's
I
that.
could sit at home and think about where I'd like to be. Yeah. Thank you. I think that was it.
All right.
Working on a Heads-up display for your helmet.
Oh, boy. High tech. It's, yeah. I really gonna need the third wheel so you don't fall over. All right, so back to item B. I think we have a motion in a second, but we still need a vote for
Correct.
approving the tip. Any other questions, comments on that? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Yes.
Caius,
Guys, yes?
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford, Doherty,
Doherty, yes.
Davis.
Davis, yes.
Passes.
All right, I think we're gonna stick with Jackie, and our next item is on the road improvement impact fee credit agreement with us and the Algonquin Corporate Center.
Sure. This is something that we haven't had for a while. This is a credit agreement between the county and a specific developer. They are going to make improvements to Randall Road as part of a development that they are doing. And we, as part of our ordinance, we are allowed to give them a credit toward their impact fees for the development if they do these improvements on their own. So we have been working closely with the developer for some time now. This is an overhead view of where this project is. It's up at Long Meadow and Randall Road on the southwest corner. Right now, they show the 5 buildings. They have 2 that are underway right now, and that we'll talk about a little bit later in another resolution. But for this one, it is for doing the access, the improvements to Randall Road. We have drawings that show the specific pieces of the road improvements that they're doing that are eligible for impact fee credits. We have negotiated with them on the costs of the various pieces of the improvements. And before you today is this credit agreement that states that we will be providing them with that improvement credit around $332,000 that will be put toward their impact fees for this development. And we recommend your approval of this agreement.
And if I remember correctly, the work that is being done by them outweighs the credit that we're giving. Is that right, Carl, Tom?
Yes, we use appropriate unit prices for the time that we're at right now, today's dollars, and those improvements, we've had our engineers look at them. And so at a minimum, the credits that we're giving, the value of the work they're doing is equivalent at a minimum.
Thank you. All right, ask for a motion in a second, and we can have more discussion if we need.
Berman moves.
Leonard, so moves.
Iqbal
Skip right
seconds.
over when I go to the line.
Ooh, you guys, that was tough to hear. I heard Mo, I heard Bill.
Berman, Leonard, I think.
Okay, thank you. Dale Berman moves, Mr. Leonard second. All right, any other questions, comments on this
Mr.
one?
Chairman? This is
Yes, go ahead.
Caius again. So I'd like to have Mr. Kenyon squint at me about stretching the meeting out. But now the part of this in the executive summary here, it explains why they're getting the credits, and that the credits are not just for improvements to the highway, right? They're credited because they are close to the bike trails that we just talked about improving, and the Pace bus, and potentially creating jobs that won't necessarily high-paying jobs that don't necessarily affect the traffic, but affect the kind of people or the employment scenario here in
My district.
Kane County. Is that correct?
Yeah. There's actually 2 separate resolutions. So that's for the second resolution.
Oh.
They are getting a discount to their impact fees on top of this credit. So this first one we're talking about now is just for the credit for the highway improvements that they're making. That is going toward the impact fees. And then I can explain a little bit more, but you're spot on. They're going to get
Okay,
a
well,
discount for.
I guess I lumped them all together, but
Yeah.
yeah.
You were stealing Jackie's thunder a little there. It was coming, but yes,
Okay,
you are
great.
correct. Location,
That makes sense,
location,
too.
you know.
Sure.
All right, so for this one then, unless we have any other question on it, clerk, please call the roll.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Yes.
Caius,
Guys, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford, Doherty,
Doherty, yes.
Davis.
Davis, yes. All right, Jackie, if you, since it's been queued up for you, go ahead and lead into the discussion on the next step of this.
Sure. So this is the same project and they qualify for our discount program as well because of the location of this project. As part of the requirements to receive the discount, they need to apply through our discount application. Here is the first page from the application that explains the available discounts that are available to any developer who is interested in getting a discount and in locating their projects in places that we encourage that development. So you have mobility options close to a train stop, a bus stop, or has a multimodal component, so near one of our bicycle pedestrian trails. That mixed use housing and higher density, downtown development discount, residential development discount, depending on the density of that as well. Skilled manufacturing, which you were just talking about, Mr. Caius, if it brings in specific types of jobs, they can get a discount. And then also charitable organizations, they also get a range of discounts as well. So this is the application that they fill out. This particular project is receiving a discount because they are near a truck route, which is also one of the things. So Randall Road is a truck route. They're receiving a discount because it is near the Pace route and also on bicycle and pedestrian path nearby. So they did receive a 30% discount. This is the accounting to go with it and what they're receiving. They had already taken those credits off that you just approved on this particular building. The first building that they have, building A or building 1, I guess we can call it, that credit that they're getting for that development took care of the impact fees for that one. So this is for building 2. We took some of that credit and put it toward this, and then they get a 30% off of that. So you'll see the discount is a total of $7,770 and change. They will be coming back to us with other buildings in the development that will also have some discounts. So we recommend your approval for this today.
In retrospect, Chris, we may have wanted to flip the order of these and share some of that, first, but as you can see, they go hand in hand.
Right. I'm sure that's why I got confused.
Now, Tom, correct me with this. This one is listed as a discussion item. So are you just looking for consensus from us?
We actually need approval.
Okay.
There's no resolution, but the ordinance requires that we bring these forward. If it's greater than 20% discount, that we bring it forward to the Transportation Committee for approval.
Berman moves for approval. Roth seconds.
All right, Dale, Bill, thank you. Absent a parliamentarian making a stop, we'll go ahead and take a vote.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Yes.
Caius,
Guys, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford, Doherty,
Doherty, yes.
Davis.
Davis, yes. All right. Jackie, I think you've got one more,
Yes, I
grant
do.
agreements.
Yes, so this is something completely different, borrow from Monty Python. We are now going to talk about our Riding Cane program. This year is a year that we are allowed to apply for funding through the Regional Transportation Authority or the RTA for Section 5310 funding. This will help with operation mobility management funding that we can put toward our Riding Cane program. In order to apply, we do need a resolution from our county board that states that we are able to and encouraged to apply for this funding. It will go directly toward, again, the operations and mobility management funding. So that will help offset the cost of our Riding Cane program manager. And the information in here is specific to the call for projects that's coming up in March. And we just request your approval that we apply for these fundings, and that as part of that, we have agreements with all of our sponsors that they will put up a local match as part of the funding as well. Thank
So
you.
this is us getting in line for federal dollars.
Yes, exactly.
You know what? Davis moves it.
Leonard, seconds.
Thank you, Bill. Any questions, comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Yes.
Caius,
Guys, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford, Doherty,
Doherty, yes.
Davis.
Davis, yes.
Passes.
All right, and we'll move on to permitting. Kurt, I think.
Yes, sir. Just a standard report in the packet for permit activities in the county rights of way. I don't really have anything particular to point out, other than if you have any questions, let me know.
All right, well, I'm not hearing or seeing any, so why don't you go ahead and take us into the amendment to the intergovernmental agreement with City of Aurora?
Yes, this is a continuation of last month's committee item about new access to Orchard Road from between ID8 and Sullivan Road. Before you in the packet is the intergovernmental agreement language that staff negotiated with the City of Aurora. The city is taking this same language through its process, ending up in the city council for their approval. So we're asking that this be moved on our end to the county board for their approval.
This is the one that we referred to as the 3/4 turn,
That's right.
a right in, right out with an additional left turn in from the opposite side.
That's right.
Okay. We have a motion and a second.
Ford moves.
Leonard seconds.
Moved by Ford, seconded by Leonard. All right, this is one that we've, as you was just pointed out, we've looked at this before and seen it and working together. Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman, Leonard has. a
Yes,
question.
Bill. Uh-huh.
You know, the 3/4, could you explain that to me a little bit more? I mean, I'd like to have a little bit better idea of how that works.
Sure thing. So we're all familiar with full access points that allow left in, left out, right in, right out. So the full movement range at access points. So that's a full access point. And right in, right outs are pretty common in our area too. And they do just what it sounds like. So right in from the main street, right out from the side street. So a restricted access that just allows those two movement types. This is a 3/4 access, kind of a slang term for it. But that is somewhere between a right in, right out and a full access point. So if you picture a right in, right out, those two movements we were just talking about with the addition of the left in, and maybe that illustration shows it better than I can describe it. Thank you, who's ever doing that laser pointer. That left turn lane allows for that additional inbound movement. So right in, right out, left in, but that prohibits a left out movement. I don't know if that hard to talk about that in
It
words.
kind of
but
helps.
And there's a barrier median there that actually physically.
That's what it
prohibits
is. The
the left hand,
barrier
yeah.
is blocking, yes.
Yeah.
And so the right in, right out is on the east side of the road there, correct?
Correct, right,
Okay, thank you.
And north is to the right.
correct.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, when you hear it the first time, Bill, it's a little bit, yeah, you have to kind of think it through. It's like, wait a minute, who's turning where? You know.
Who's on first?
Okay, anyone else?
Mr. Chairman, Ford, question.
Yes, Ryan, go ahead.
On the left end on the island, the media in the middle, do we know roughly how many cars could stack there to make that turn?
This is a
I'll let Kurt answer that one.
conceptual. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Don't go ahead. I was going to defer to you.
So this is a conceptual sketch at this point. This was drawn up to give us some understanding, to help us work through the intergovernmental agreement kind of negotiation with the city of Aurora. But that is still to be worked out once the particular specific land uses are nailed down for that east leg. So we've looked at a traffic study that proposed some typical uses, but we're still going to be looking at that again to make sure that it works, that it has the capacity for those left in movements. The last thing we want is for backups into the through lanes of Orchard Road.
I guess my comment also is gonna be, I'm pretty sure you did the traffic study and stuff, but also think about anything if we can for the future. Because that area is very, very extremely busy. And hopefully it increases.
Mr. Chairman, Leonard, one other question on that. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Point just to Mr. Ford's point, well taken. And I believe I can safely say that we're going to have eyes on this for quite a while to see how it performs. But go ahead, Bill.
Yes, my question, as Mr. Ford brought up, is the fact that, I understand the right in and the right out now. I understand the left in, the left out heading south is at Sullivan Road at the light, the intersection. Why not just have a left in there then also instead of in the median?
Why not have the left in at Sullivan?
Yes.
Well, there is that movement now at Sullivan. Part of our analysis of this property and how it would function is looking at Sullivan, and this property currently has access to that frontage road to the east that connects into Sullivan. And part of our analysis was, how does this development without an access to Orchard Road, how does that work? And the conclusion was that it really loads up Sullivan Road. So this does kind of act as a release valve in that it takes some of the pressure off Sullivan, where otherwise this development of this land would really take Sullivan and exacerbate any problems down there.
That's a good answer. Thank you.
It's clear you were thinking about the area though, Bill. It was a good question. All right. Anyone else? Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr.
Berman?
Chairman, please.
Oh,
Mates,
yeah,
please.
whoops. Sorry, go ahead, Mavis.
Has there been any public hearings about this? Are the residents, I know there's not too many around, too many residences around that area. Have there been public hearings?
This is Director Shadle. So we do have a representative from the city here, but we called on him last time, and basically what he said was that as this moves through the development process, the city will have all of the typical public hearings on that. So the answer right now today is no, but as it moves forward through development, the answer is yes.
Thank you. I think this is in my district or maybe across the street. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mavis. Anyone else? All right, let's try again. Clerk, please call the roll.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford, Doherty,
Yes.
Davis.
Davis, yes.
Passes.
Thank you. All right. Kurt, I think we'll stick with you. Traffic operations, you have a report for us?
Yes, another customary report, this one for traffic operations activities. I would just call out one particular item very quickly. It's an agreement that KDOT has worked out with the sheriff's office as a pilot program for some targeted enforcement. It allows KDOT some input into some very specific special situations that might come up that need a little enforcement treatment, perhaps speed patrols or access violations or things of that sort. So we're happy to have that kind of partnership and this capability added. So that's all I would point out there.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Kurt? Okay. Moving on to project implementation. Jennifer?
Good morning. I have nothing to highlight from the project implementation report. So if there are no questions, we can move on to construction photos. Great.
By all means.
When the weather is amenable, there are crews working at the Orchard and Route 30 intersection to install electrical elements for the traffic signals. Photo 2 here shows the site being prepared for the box culvert installation at the Bliss Main Fabian intersection realignment project. And photo 3 shows the completed grading and drainage improvements at the Stearns Road AMP embankment rehab project.
Okay. Even in the cold weather, that's good stuff. Well, I'll let you continue and let's move to our first resolution with the phase 2 engineering services.
KDOT previously completed the consultant selection process to choose Bollinger Lack and Associates for the phase 1, phase 2 engineering services for Randall Road at Illinois Route 72 intersection improvements. And BLA recently and satisfactorily completed the phase 1 services for this project, resulting in design approval from FHWA and IDOT last month. And so staff has chosen to continue with this successful project team and negotiated a locally funded contract with BLA for phase 2 design services in an amount not to exceed $661,962 and change.
That was well done. That was a lot of syllables. Satisfactorily.
Yeah.
Well done. Accept the a motion and a second.
Caius would move.
Moved by
Leonard
Caius.
seconds.
Leonard second. All right. And any questions, comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Well, yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford, Doherty,
Yes.
Davis.
Davis, yes. Next one is approving an amendment with V3.
Yes, KDOT staff utilized consultant selection process to select V3 for professional on-call engineering services in 2019. As part of this on-call contract, V3 completed traffic studies at 2 intersections, Wenmouth Road at Fabian Parkway and Wenmouth Road at Main Street Road. And based on the results of these traffic studies and our staff discussions, KDOT staff recommends proceeding to phase 1, phase 2 engineering for both intersections and continuing this project with V3. So we recommend amending this contract to allow V3 to perform phase 1 and phase 2 engineering services for these intersection improvement projects. The amendment increases the upper limit of the contract for a total compensation limit of $355,965.
All right. Makes sense to not change horses now. Motion and a second, please.
Iqbal moves. Roth seconds.
Okay, moved by Iqbal, Roth second. Clerk, please call the roll.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford, Doherty,
Bernie, yes.
Davis.
Davis, yes. All right, next one, we're gonna stick with Jennifer, and the next one is contract with A-Lamp for ADA ramp improvements.
That's right. Last month, 4 bids were opened at KDOT for the 2023 Kane County ADA ramp improvement project to replace portions of sidewalk, curb, and roadway for ADA access at various locations along Bowes Road, McLean Boulevard, and Randall Road. Staff recommends approval for a locally funded contract with A-Lamp Concrete Contracting of Schaumburg, the lowest qualified bidder at $588,423 and change.
All right. Need a motion and a second for this one.
Berman moves. Roth seconds.
All right, Berman and Roth. Any other questions, comments? Ramps are good. Clerk, please call the roll.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford, Doherty,
Yes.
Davis.
Davis, yes. All right, next one is a contract for construction with Martam culvert. If I'm thinking of the right one, I'll just point out that when you think culvert, don't think of the one at the end of a residential driveway. This this is more like a tunnel you could drive your car through as opposed to over. But Jennifer, I'll let you.
Yeah, that's right. These culverts on Harmony Road are just under the size that we might define as a bridge. So on January 31st, 4 bids were opened at KDOT for the Harmony Road Culvert Replacement Project to replace 2 culverts near the intersection of Harmony and Big Timber in Hampshire. The lowest qualified bid of $1,265,626 and change was submitted by Martam of Elgin. Staff recommends approval.
Told you they were big. Motion and a second, please.
Iqbal moves. Roth, those second.
Iqbal and Roth, thank you very much. Questions or comments?
So this is Caius, does this?
Yes,
fall-
Caius, go
this
ahead.
doesn't fall under our bridge replacement then, it's just under that size, so.
That's
the funding
correct.
comes from where then?
This one is locally funded.
So we have to cough up the money for that one.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Leonard.
We could
with
think of a way to
question.
call it a bridge maybe, but yeah, we can't. So, yeah, go ahead, Bill.
Jennifer, with respect to the completion date, I see June 30th, 2020. So we're only 3 months away.
Yeah, we gave them a very tight schedule on this one. We did let this project a couple of years ago in 2020. And the project was delayed for a number of reasons, utility relocations, and then there was a supply chain issue with steel during that time. And so the project never got built. But during that time, the prefabricated culverts were constructed. And so we are reletting this project. And the utilities are already out of the way. And the prefabricated culverts are already constructed. Also, the fact that this project requires a full detour, we really wanted to tighten up that construction timeframe, and we talked to the contractor. They think they can get it done, so.
Excellent.
We'll be doing the fingers crossed on weather a little bit for this one.
Yes, yes.
All right, anything else? Clerk, please call the roll.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford, Doherty,
Yes.
Davis.
Davis, yes.
Passes.
All right, construction. It's the Harder Road Drainage Project. Jennifer?
Last month, 5 bids were opened at KDOT for the Harder Road Drainage Improvements Project to improve drainage along Harder Road near Main Street Road in Caneville. The work will include grading and pipe installation to channel and direct groundwater away from low-lying areas of concern near the intersection. Staff recommends approval for a locally funded contract with Performance Construction and Engineering of Plano, the lowest qualified bidder, at $246,296.
Berman
All
moves
right.
for approval.
Thank you, Dale. Davis will second. There you go. Well, let it be Mr. Iqbal. Berman and Iqbal. Questions or comments on this one? Clerk, please call the roll.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford, Doherty,
Yes.
Davis.
Davis, yes.
Passes.
All right, last but not least, working with the railroad for the Doberman Road extension.
That's right. Construction of the Doberman Road extension will start this spring, and the Burlington Northern Santa Fe BNSF Railway Company and KDOT work together to execute an overpass agreement for the construction of the roadway overpass at the railroad crossing. King County is responsible for the cost of BNSF's railroad flaggers, inspectors, and additional coordination, estimated at $448,997. Staff recommends a 20% contingency to be added for a total appropriation request of $538,796 and change.
Leonard moves.
Thank you, Bill.
Second.
Thank you,
Iqbal
Dale.
seconds.
We'll note your participation, Mo, but I think they beat you to it. So when you're going past projects and you see people out there, watching and holding flags and stuff, just know that there's a lot of value involved there. All right, any questions or comments on working with railroad? Clerk, please call the roll.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Yes, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford, Doherty,
Yes.
Davis.
Davis, yes.
Passes.
Who'd like to have the reports put on file?
Doherty
Caius
move.
mo-
Doherty moves,
Okay, second.
Caius second. Next time I'll try to remember that unanimous consent kind of thing, skip it. But in the meantime, clerk, please call the roll.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Guys, yes.
Leonard,
Yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Ford, Doherty,
Yes.
Davis.
Davis, yes.
On file.
I don't know if any executive session items that we need. Carl or Tom, any new things you want to tell us?
There's no need for executive session.
And nothing new.
Yeah, nothing. Thank you. All right. Did anybody come in the room there from the public to talk to us or online, Blair? No? Just need one more motion then.
Roth will motion for adjournment.
42nd.
Excellent. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
See you at the next one.